Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good night in some of the other countries that are viewing our show.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome, Jerry, our very favorite psychic medium, Jerry McDaniel.
Well,
How are
thank you
you?
very much. I'm doing good. I was looking at the weather forecast for next week. Oh my gosh.
Is it going to be hot?
Two back-to-back days of a high of 97.
Oh, it's too
Yeah, I
early
know.
for that.
Thank God we just got our air conditioner in the bottom unit replaced. It cost a lot, but
The perils of living in Florida.
I know.
Yeah,
I
but the
know.
spring is so nice. So
I know. The weather's been nice. I know people didn't turn here a weather report from Jerry, but the weather's been nice for us.
yeah.
Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. That's good. We can do that.
Yeah.
But so how have you been? You got a lot of events lined up, I see.
We do, and I'm really excited. We've got Melbourne is coming up this weekend, and you'll be doing your mediumship gallery. Very excited about
Sunday
that.
morning, and I'll be signing. I don't have a copy of my book. My salesmanship is just, it's I don't know where it's gone, but I'll be selling and signing my book. Normally sells for $12.95, sell it for $10.
Okay, and you get to sign it for people too.
I get to sign it, which means it's worth $10. But I mean, it's a signed book, and looking forward to. Love doing. I've done a ton of gallery readings. And I really love doing them. It's just the energy is so good,
Right.
And the people are so genuine, and
Yeah.
and I'm just really looking forward to it. Sorry, I drifted off there for a moment.
It's okay.
Started going
We
to
just went into the ether. I know.
Yeah, I just drifted off like, hey.
We have a lot of really good vendors too for this, and a lot of clothing, a lot of jewelry vendors, and we have a lot of our old favorites and a lot of new vendors too, which I'm really excited about. But you talked about our new shows. Then we've got a really big one coming up in Jacksonville. We're going all over the state. Punta Gorda, which is the Fort Myers area. Then Port St. Lucie, which is in between Vero and Delray Beach. It's around there. So down over on the southeast coast.
Well, as you know, I'll be at the Jacksonville one, but the other two I won't. And that you mentioned, and I think it's good because it gets new people. We got to get new people to do mediumship galleries and new vendors and new readers and things like that to offer people a variety of how we all work.
Right.
And I think that's important.
Right.
Diversity.
We will be offering more workshops, both paid and included with admission, the 1 hour workshops with specific type of training or, classes in addition to the lectures and the presentations that the vendors do as well. So, but anyway, that's next weekend, May 22nd, 23rd at the Yazan Shriner Center in Melbourne. And I'll be sure to remind everybody to go to our website to find out more about that. And then you can meet Jerry McDaniel in person.
And actually this weekend, not next weekend, this weekend.
Hang on. I'm blocking trolls already.
Oh, the trolls, they come out.
Anyway,
private message me for a 100% accurate reading.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
Really?
Bye-bye.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so we've got a lot of really good fairs, and we are even booking up into 2022 as well. So
fantastic.
But anyway, so I'm trying to think what's going on in the world in the news. For me, the big thing was 60 Minutes and all the UFO discussions that we're having. The government is starting to admit that they've known about these things for a long time. I was even surprised. One of my things that I started to do during the pandemic was I record all of the late night shows, Fallon, James Corden, Jimmy Kimmel, and then if nothing's on, which is a lot of the time because I'm home often in the day, I'll just watch the opening monologue, and then if they've got a really good guest, I might watch it. And then it just helps me to kind of know what's going on without being forced to watch the news. But anyway, President Obama was on James Corden on Monday, and he asked him about it, and he tried to be silly and say, well, I knew, but I'd have to kill you type stuff. But then he said it's definitely a thing that they definitely know that there is. They call them UAPs now. They don't say UFOs.
Yeah, they don't call them UFOs anymore.
Yeah, the UAPs. He said that there definitely is, and things that are unknown to them. And I think that that's really kind of exciting. One of the things that was really exciting to me was the one that was filmed by one of the Navy ships going into the water.
Going to the water and barely making a splash and no sound with the I'm struggling looking for words. Looking for the propulsion. Yes. There's no sound from propulsion. It's completely quiet.
Yeah.
And I think the concern is, of course, we don't know what it is. It's around naval bases and a lot. And it goes at, as someone said, they estimate 5 times the sound barrier, and it doesn't break the sound barrier. And how that's possible, I don't know. That's for people a lot smarter than me. And so when you look at that technology, they're going,
right.
We don't have that technology. Nobody on this earth has that technology that we're aware of.
Right.
And of course, everybody goes, "This is right." You know, everybody blames Russia, right? It's got to be the Russians or the Chinese, but they don't have that technology.
No, they don't. And we've got more technology, I think, than the public knows. But I don't think, that because if the American government doesn't know who they are, I don't think that anyone else does either. So. But anyway, that was exciting. It was on 2020. It was on CBS Sunday morning. And then I saw President Obama speak on it Monday night. And it's all over the news, especially in the UFO community. So,
well, and some reports are getting ready to be declassified because the Freedom of Information Act, I guess, has a timeline on things, and the timelines run out. So now they have to release this. And so maybe they're trying to get ahead of it. But are they just going to be, and I think it's this summer that some of these classified reports are declassified. And I think it's going to be, I don't know. I'm not using any psychic abilities to say what it is, but I just think has the potential to blow everybody's minds.
I think that once we take the focus off of what these craft are, is it a cylinder shape? Is it a cigar shape? What is it?
Yeah.
And start really thinking about who's flying them. And what type of interaction they want with us. And I believe that they are benevolent. I do not believe that there's anybody that wishes us ill. But once we start really thinking about that and then exploring the possibility, if in fact they are making contact with us, how will that change the paradigm? Here we can't get along with people, who belong to a different political party than us, or our neighbors or other countries. But, when we now know that we might have people from other planets interacting with us, how does that change the dynamic of how we think of it?
And, Marianne, how does that change religion? In a whole, it's a completely paradigm shift.
Yeah. And the Pope said that he doesn't think we're alone. So that to me was another precursor. So
anyway. Us Catholics, once again, on the cutting edge.
Right. So I love this Pope, though. He's really, ahead of the game. I just think he's awesome. So, anyway, our topic tonight is, you said you didn't want to make a prediction about the ETs or the UAPs, but, people say, can psychics predict the future? And that's, one of it just makes my teeth rattle when I hear people refer to psychics as fortune tellers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's, there's a big misconception about psychics. And before I discovered my metaphysical gifts, I was in that area. I just figured, okay, they're telling the future. I pretty sure you remember Miss Cleo.
Oh, right.
Miss Cleo was the psychic network. She didn't own it. Actually, 2 men in Florida owned it, but she was the face of the psychic network, TV and a call-in show. And of course, the FBI shut them down when they realized they were just reading from prepared scripts. They weren't really doing anything. And so right then and there, psychics got a kind of a bad rap. And of course, listen, I've done tons of them. I'll be in, there's people that don't have a whole lot of people who have passed. If anybody, so not a whole lot of people are coming through. And so while I'm in the reading, it turns into a psychic reading. And all psychic means is you're gathering information outside the 5 senses. And you're gathering information outside what people would call God's natural laws.
Mm-hmm.
And, really you're more clairvoyance, which ESP, looking at the future. I tell people all the time, listen, if I tell you something that I really believe is going to happen on June 27th, which would be a lie, I couldn't tell you that. But let's say I had that ability to do, that you're going to forget everything that you've seen and learned and come in contact with up until that day. So yes, we can we can catch a glimpse, and most everybody has sixth sense gifts. They just manifest themselves differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what I tell them is, I can only give you what is on the path you're on today. It could change tomorrow. It can change a month from now, a year from now. It could come to fruition. I've had people tell me, the reading you gave me, I did one with the young lady, and it was a great reading. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I said, I'm just curious, who recommended me to you? She said, my brother. He did one I can't remember where it was. It was in the Central Florida area. And everything you said came to fruition. Mm-hmm. I don't remember even, she could tell me her brother's name. I mean, like I said, I have over 700 quote clients. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds kind of business-like. So psychic, you're just getting information outside the 5 senses, not necessarily about the future. Mm-hmm. Clairvoyance, which is extrasensory perception, which, by the way, was invented or created. That title was created by Duke University. People at Duke University, one guy at Duke, doing all these studies on all these sixth sense gifts. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and we talked about the other day. It's funny. It's almost like mediums overnight changed to psychic mediums. Have you noticed that? It's every medium is a psychic medium.
Yep.
And
that's a trend.
And it's because a lot of mediums are psychic. Probably a lot of them are. Maybe most of them. Maybe all of them. I don't know. I have no idea. There's thousands of mediums are psychic mediums. I put it on because everybody else was doing it. I said, okay, I guess maybe I should do it. Now I've started to take it off a little bit, but it has such a negative connotation in and of itself. And let's face it, I've done a ton of these readings. And when people say, I really want a psychic reading, there's 3 areas that they want to visit. It's relationship, finance, and health. One of those 3, or all 3 of them. Those are 3 main areas that when you do a reading like this, and I'm always getting something health. I don't call myself, I'm always getting something medical, but it's
yeah.
A troll.
Yeah, we've watched
shame. Yeah. I'm gonna be like
third one tonight too. They're on a roll.
I'm gonna be like Game of Thrones. Shame.
So nobody DM anybody for a reading. The only way to get a reading from Jerry is through here. So sorry.
No, it's okay. If they say DM, they're just trying to infringe upon all this. See, I do nothing to set this up. This is all Mary Ellen's show. She does all this stuff. I just show up. But it just infringes upon all the hard work Mary Ellen does. But anyway, psychic is a beautiful gift. It's a gift from God. A lot of people in the Bible had that gift. I know we're not talking just Christianity or religion, but a lot of people down through the years, and any type of religion, spiritual, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from the divine. It's a beautiful gift. It just has that negative connotation. And the thing about psychics or psychic, you have to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, you're a fake and a fraud.
Right.
And, and who's perfect all the time? Science. Look at COVID-19. You wear a mask, you don't wear a mask, you wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. I mean, there's science isn't exact. So sixth sense, spiritual, metaphysical gifts are not exact. And I don't know. Hopefully that explains it.
Yeah, no, I think that it does. And when I think of fortune tellers, I think of, in the Bible, you mentioned, like the money changers, and because they weren't ethical. And then that's part of the reason that in the Bible that it talked about not going to psychics, or I can't remember exactly what the terminology is. It's because they were the same type of unethical fake people that we, unfortunately sometimes see in this genre. But you just know who the ethical people are.
Yeah.
And the people that want you to charge you to pray for them, or charge you to, that they convince you something's wrong with you. Like you said, you're reading the energy around someone.
Yep.
And you tell them the chances of based on the energy right now, what's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
And that you can pick up on that. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. It's like, I think Graham had mentioned, you get the energy around the auras, and which that's a lot of people's gifts. That's not my gift. I can feel the energy more than anything. When somebody comes up, I go, whoa, you got a lot of energy. What colors do you see? Your brightness. That's about the only colors I see.
Right.
I'm not colorblind, but I just feel the energy. That's why gallery readings, are so good. You can feel that energy, and everybody's there for a united purpose. They want to connect with loved ones, or they want, and I don't want to get on a tangent, but I've had people come to me and really want to know specific answers to specific questions. And I've told people before, I don't think I can help you. You've been coming to me so many times, which I've told you not to do. And because you don't go to us for answers. God, universe, spirit provides clarity, clarity on your path, not answers, but clarity. Spirit wants you to use your own gifts of intuition. And that's part of my mission and purpose, is to get people to use their gifts late in life, like I did. I didn't discover them until I was 57, 58. So,
One of the things that is most helpful to me, if I were to get a reading from someone, because you're sensing the energy that's around a situation, you can give me, and by you, I mean a good psychic reader, information about a situation that I can't perceive. For example, something that might be going on at work, somebody you might be dating, what's the real deal, and because you don't know these people, you're just picking up on that energy, and that's been extremely helpful. Where somebody might be coming from, whether they have the best of intentions or not. That's something that would be a good example of something a psychic would help you with. They're not predicting the future about what's going to happen, but they're just telling me, what the energy is that I can't perceive, especially because I'm so close to it.
Yeah, and I think there was some famous psychic. Sylvia Browne was a big psychic, TV show, thousands of readings, and when she missed, she really missed. I mean, she told people, this is the year, this is how old I'm going to be when I die. Nobody gives that information. And of course, she died not at that year. And I don't know if you remember the case of the 3 young women. They were girls at the time that this one guy captured. He chained them up, and
I remember
movies. And so Amber was one of the girls' name. And Amber's mom appears on her show, and she said, "Is my girl still alive?" And Sylvie said, "No, she's dead." She wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But the mom passed away thinking her daughter was dead. And of course, Amber and the girls were rescued. One of the girls escaped. I don't know. And so there's nobody's 100% accurate, because it's not an exact science, right?
Yeah. Right.
You got to make damn sure, excuse my language, that you're telling that in front of millions of people. It's okay to say, I don't know. I don't see or feel her on the other side, but I can't tell you. I don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know.
Right. Because when I hear that, if you're asking about what's going on at work and you just say, I just am not getting anything, to me, that means it's totally up in the air. That it might depend on something you might do. It might depend on something that might or might not happen that you don't expect. It might depend on somebody else's actions who's also, up in the air about something. And to me, that's still an answer. When you don't get anything, that's still an answer to me. So
it's I guess everybody has specialties. I don't know what my specialties are, but I can always pick up on children that have been lost due to a procedure, which is called a procedure, or a miscarriage, or died very young, passed away very young. I can always pick up on that. I can always pick up on what they're thinking about moving. It's just I don't know why, because I can tell you, we moved in this house 9 years ago. Both Mary and I said, they'll carry us out in body bags. We probably won't move again. We are not moving. I think one day we will, unfortunately, or fortunately. And some people are really good at names and initials. And see, even mediums have gotten a bad rap about doing, what a cold reading is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For doing cold readings, which is mean I'm going to do information and background on you, and I'm going to look at your body language or look at something you've got on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've got on tattoo, and I say, okay, so since you have the tattoo of a lot, which I don't do, and I say 95% of your mediums don't do,
Mm-hmm.
I would guess, but there are some out there who've gotten caught with doing a cold reading.
Yeah.
Your grandmother's here, and the guy's going,
That's the first thing I do before I really relax in a reading is I just wait for some type of validation, something that would come across that I either had thought about before the reading or something that I know that the reader would not have known. Or if I sit down, because I don't usually, and a lot of times people don't need to ask the questions. You're going to answer them before.
Yeah.
And if you just dive right into what I was going to ask about, then I also, to me, that's a form of validation. So
yeah, see, here in the States, we do mediumship different than in other countries. Like in the United Kingdom, their mediums, according to Arthur Findlay, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Arthur Findlay, and it looks like Hogwarts. I swear to God, it looks awesome. And it's really for England anyway, maybe for that part of the world, it's kind of I just can't think of words tonight. I'm too excited about Handmaid's Tale later on, I guess.
Oh, I watched it. Oh,
that's good, is it?
Sorry, I don't want to.
But the Arthur Findlay College is like it's like the mothership of spiritualist and spiritualism colleges, and I know the difference because I had an associate professor tell me I was wrong on doing what I was doing, and she said, over here, what comes first? There are more intuitive mediums. An intuitive medium is one who presents evidence of a loved one first, and then goes with the message. So the loved one coming through is first. Here in the States, and you've had readings from me, we normally go with, most of the time, the message, most of the time first. And so, and sometimes we have to ask questions. I hate to say that. I know I'm getting off topic. I hate to ask questions, but sometimes you're not clear on the information, and you want to make sure you're on the right path.
Right.
And
I try to go into a reading stone-faced and not really give any hints at all. And I feel like I've really upset some readers where they just, at the end I'll say this was spot on, and they were like, could you have given me a hint, thrown me a bone, anything? So when you ask questions, I know you're trying to make sure yourself you're not just out to lunch.
Yeah, a lot of times the questions come from, I've got a male with a father essence. Well, my father is still alive. I said, okay. Would you happen to know who this is? Because it's a heavy father essence. Sure. And a lot of times I said, if it's a grandfather, they give off a different essence. Second, third generation, a different essence. To me, they do. And so identifying those people, I know mediums that can give names and initials like that. And that just always, I'm always amazed at that. But a lot of times I have to ask, who is this coming through? I can describe them. And when I see somebody, it's like looking at somebody through a frosted glass, unless they want to show me something that's validation for the person. They're showing me this. And if I see a head nod, that's all and I like the stone face because quite honestly, that makes us dig deeper within ourselves as a medium, as a psychic medium, clairvoyant, whatever you call it.
Not all of them like it.
Yeah, well, it makes us work harder. I've had people walk up and say, let me tell you a little bit about myself. And go, let me stop you.
Right.
Please. Right. The first name's all I need. I don't need, I don't need anything else. So anyway.
Well, let's get to one of our first readings, and then we've got one more topic that we were going to bring up tonight, but we'll get to a couple readings, and and then we can continue our conversation. So the first one is Kiana.
Kiana Ash. Has she been here before?
I'm not sure.
Because that name is, it's so beautiful, Kiana. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting, see, here comes the message first. And this message, Kiana, I get a lot of information from my higher self. I'm a big Edgar Cayce fan, so I always look at my higher self, and that's how I channel a lot. A mail did just stop in. Grandfather, but it might be a great-grandfather. I'm saying grandfather / great-grandfather. We'll see if it's a grandfather. But the first thing I'm getting is, boy, and I'm going to dig for more information, Kiana. You have a beautiful energy about you too, just so you know. And you're wearing something, or somebody is saying something that you either wearing tonight, or you're wearing that picture, or you had that is somebody, a lost loved one. So I don't think that's a man, by the way. But let me get to what it's almost like the message I'm getting is you've been praying and hoping for something for a long time. And, oh, God, this is so generic. I'm sorry, Kiana. And it's just right around the corner. I'm thinking somewhere around June or July. Summertime. Let me just say summertime. Okay. And, well, June's next month. So, and it's going to come, but not in the form or fashion that you think it may come. And what I'm getting with my higher self is, you know immediately what this is. If you don't, I'm sorry. I can dig for more information. My higher self is being very generic. It is a move. Okay. It is a move. And this, now not too sure, Kiana, that this move is physical, or if this move is more. That wasn't me. My stomach's
Sorry,
not that.
no.
I know it sounds like a dog barking, but I had a good meal tonight. But Kiana, this is almost like you move from one department to another, or you switch jobs, or you move. When I say move in capital letters, that's a physical move. Okay, the M is capitalized. The rest of it is, I don't know, maybe just, I don't know. But there is something involved in a move. And I'm going to say spirit, because now this is coming. What's that?
She said she's supposed to be moving in June.
Okay. Well, where you're going to, or where you're going to move to, is Spirit says is blessed. But it may not be what you think it is when you walk in. I think you've already seen the place. I'm assuming that's Jerry. I'm assuming I shouldn't say, but it's blessed, and it's like you can't. It's like you have felt suffocated lately. And I say lately, in the past few months, maybe even a year, like I can't breathe where I am. I need space. I need to just, I need to stretch. It's almost like you're going to do yoga. All right, so I've got that. Now I want to bring this male in. I do think this is a grandfather. And it's a grandfather, and quite honestly, Kiana, he looks younger than a normal grandfather. No, he doesn't look like in his 80s or 90s. And if he was young looking when he passed. I'm thinking 60s or 70s. And he's got a pocket watch. And he's showing that to me. So he's showing that to me on purpose. And there is some smoke around him. There's smoke around him. That could indicate cigarette. Hope not. It could indicate a fire, but I don't see flames and smoke. And he said, you haven't reached your potential yet, and you still have your dreams, and continue to go for your dreams, including, he said, a dream that was out of state. There's something out of state, unless you're moving to that apartment. But there's a dream about something you want to do, or someplace you want to go. But I don't know if she lives in Florida, but put it this way, it's not wherever you live now. And the lady coming through, the lady coming through that you have something of, This is a heavy mother or aunt like essence. May even be a great aunt. Sometimes we know our great aunts and great uncles. Great grandparents are difficult because of the age difference in the years. But this great aunt says you have blossomed into the beautiful lady we all knew you were. And I know she shows herself having short hair there, so I'm not looking at her. It's something like they're saying, we love when you go with long hair or longer hair and then you cut it short. There's a number of them that go, oh, she did it. She did it. And a few months later, oh, she did it. She colored it this time or whatever. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm not much of a hair expert. And she loves you very much. Loves you very much. Cecilia? I don't get many names. There's a C associated with her name. I think with her name because it's coming as we're talking about her. So anyway, that's what I've got for you. God bless you. It's going to be a good move. You're going to enjoy the new place.
Awesome. Well, good. All right. Well, thank you, Kiana, for joining us. The next one is, her name is actually Natalia.
Natalia. I'm looking at that name, that first name. I know her name's Natalia, but that first name is there's something about that. I won't begin to pronounce it because I'm going to mess it up. Okay, the first thing I'm getting is Natalia, is the heartache that you have felt lately will soon be smoothed over. But again, matters of the heart it's like a dimmer switch, not an on-off switch. We're not automatic. We're not robots. It takes us time. And I do think this is heartbroken over a loved one who has passed. So let's see. Okay, so there's two people. It's a man and a woman that now seem to be together. So I don't know who passed. They just now seem to be together. And I don't know. See, even your dog senses. And I don't know that this is the heart is broken or the heart is heavy. The heart is heavy. And whenever I feel the heart, I'm doing this, and it means a sadness. I mean, heartbroken does too, but my heart is heavy, and there's a sadness. Okay, and this couple together, either their mom and dad or their aunt and uncle, or it's like they're reunited. It's like one went before the other one, maybe a pretty good distance, maybe 5 to 7 years, and the other one just kind of, I'm using my hand, kind of jumped in a little bit. I say jumped in. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I need my tea tonight. I haven't had enough tea today. That's my problem. The other one passed, and now they're reunited, and they're holding hands. They look like the couple that's on a wedding cake. Wedding dress and a tuxedo. They're saying, Natalia, things will get better. We love you. We're watching over you, and this feeling of being alone. You are surrounded by loved ones. You are surrounded by your spirit guides. You are surrounded by angels. Angels seem to be real special to you. And that's not a generic comment. To me, they're special. To my wife, they're really special. So they seem to be really special. Archangel Raphael is there for healing for you. The heart needs to have some healing. And letting go is great advice. But Natalia, as we know, it looks good on paper. Really hard to do. So anyway, I wish you much love, and you're such a special person. It's almost like you see shadows out of the corner of your eye. You're like, what's that? Well, that's your loved ones. They're just kind of there, and they're not there to scare you. I've said this a million times. I've told my loved ones, there's something on your screen, Mary Ellen. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, it's alive. I've always told my loved ones, do not stand at the foot of my bed at 4 a.m. I will scream like a 5-year-old. But they're around you a lot. The ground that you are on, wherever you are, is kind of sacred ground. It's been blessed by the angels. So it's almost like, if you ever had to sage your house, you don't have to sage your house. Your house is saged by the angels and the spirit guides. And you have a Mayan, again, names aren't my specialty, but a Mayan who's a spirit guide will guide you on the next phase of your life. You're getting ready to enter a next phase, and it's good. You're going up. And anyway, so
Okay.
Natalia, thank you. And
Okay.
all right.
Let me see. Sonia, do you have a question? If you do, type the question. Let me see. And Kevin W. also, he messaged earlier, and I was trying to see if he was still on with us. So let's go to, hang on. Had a lot of messages coming through here tonight. Susan Williams wondered if there was any mediumship that you had for her today.
Susan Williams. Why does that name sound familiar? Yeah, Susan, there's a mail coming through calling you honey. That's not me. I don't, that's this mail coming through. And it has a father-like essence. It does have a father-like essence, strong father-like essence. And don't know if she knows who that would be, but I'm not getting brother, so I'm not getting uncle. Oh. Maybe it's a brother. I don't know. But because I'm asking him for more information, and well, he just said our little girl, and a brother wouldn't say that to, I wouldn't think, to his sister. Something about driving fast cars. I'm getting the image. Hopefully she's not, or he's not talking about your driving ability, Susan, but it's something about driving fast cars. And it's almost, Susan, it's almost like he's saying he made some mistakes that led to his demise or his passing. And if this is not your father, just please let us know. But I'm not going out on a limb. I'm just going with what I'm getting. And this seems to be a father. And he says, our little girl, not my little girl, but our little girl, which means he's including your mom, his wife, whomever. If it seems Splinter, I'm sorry. He's crying now. He is crying. And there's Native American around him. Father's alive, grandparents all passed. All right. Thank you, Susan. Well, if this is a grandfather, it's a heavy father-like essence. I got to tell you. There's Native Americans around him. And so I don't know if he was part Native American. I don't know which grandfather this is. This over here would be paternal. Over here would be maternal. And he's right kind of in front of me, almost like your mom's dad. Now you're probably going to tell me it's your dad's dad. But I'm telling you, this is where he's standing. And he's got blue jeans and almost like a blue jean jacket or a blue jean vest. There's a lot of blue jeans about him. Not just a pair of blue jeans, but everything seems denim. Let me just put it that way. And now he's got a cigar and a pipe, and and he's still. I gotta tell you. Oh, a spirit is like to sit with you in your car, like sports cars. Wow. I'm going to ask because I want to clarify this. I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to clarify this, Susan. Sorry. Oh, probably mom's dad. Okay, I do think this is mom's dad, your mother's dad, because he's kind of right there. He's not way over here where he should be, but he's kind of right there. Okay. Hopefully he didn't drag race with the buses, and maybe he thought he. I just asked him for a clarification because normally, Susan, if there's a father that has passed and they're talking about the daughter, it's my little girl. He said our little girl, and I knew that it had a different ringing. I mean, I thought he was giving homage to your mom by including her, but normally fathers, I don't know, I've got a daughter. Normally fathers were pretty. I can't think of the word. We're pretty. We kind of command the attention of our daughter. We capture that, and okay. So the Native American is. I don't know if that's their spirit guide. I just know there's a Native American essence, and now I'm seeing a whole bunch of people. Okay, I am seeing a little child. This would be, you'd have to ask your mom and dad if they lost a child, because this would be your brother, or else unless you knew that your brother had passed early, this might be a miscarriage or something else. But this grandfather, man, I gotta tell you, it's not that he fooled me, but it was just everything was father. And our little girl means there's like about a dozen loved ones now. Now they go back, I'm telling you, they go back 3 generations, 2 or 3 generations. So a lot of them you're not going to know, but they all love you. They support you. They say a decision about a new puppy. Maybe that has a father's like essence. Anyway, they said a decision about employment or something that either you made or is coming up. It's going to be your intuition is strong. You're going to know you made the right decision. So I'll leave you with that. And sorry for loss. And that makes sense what he said. He said he did something that led to his demise with driving, and could have been smoking. I'm not going to connect dots that I don't see. But sorry, I got the father thing wrong, but it was, he doesn't look like a grandfather to me. Anyway, thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for being with us, Susan. We're going to go to Sonia next, but before we see what Spirit has to say for Sonia, the other topic that we had for tonight was, does it seem like there's a spiritual awakening going on collectively since the pandemic, or is that just, is it just us in our collective little circles? Do you think that there's been a paradigm shift?
I really do. And, I don't read the horoscopes, and a lot of people, I don't do numerology. A lot of people have said the numbers have really lined up well over the past year. And a lot of people who do horoscopes they talk over my head, but I believe them. And it's funny, quick little story. I reunited with an old friend. He was part of our prayer group, and we now do a Zoom prayer group of 4 of us. And every Saturday morning, been doing it for 28 years, every Saturday morning. And he's a truck driver. He's just Jim's just a good old guy. And before I even told him about my guest, all of a sudden he's in his cab of his truck, smokes a cigar, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys think there's a spiritual awakening?" Now, this is a truck driver. Mm-hmm. Nothing against truck driver, but this is not a shaman who sits or a monk who's sitting on top of a mountain. But so, yeah, there's got to be something to it. Mm-hmm. And there is. I mean, and every now and then it's almost like a GPS. The earth needs a GPS, reset, recalculate. This is a recalculation of how we live our lives and discovering what's important. And although some people haven't haven't gotten the message, and I get it. But yeah, I do. There is a shift in consciousness. There is a shift that, nothing against organized religion, but people haven't gone to churches because they weren't allowed to, and then they have sought other means of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And my higher self said,
we really think it seems like that
yeah,
with the people that are coming to the fair, just so many new people and multiple generations, and a lot of younger people. And I just think this past year of, being more alone than ever, and, the uncertainty of the times
yeah. I mean, when I got out of the hospital a week and a half before COVID hits, within a few months, I felt enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
Even though for a couple months there, I was using a walker, but I felt there was a change in the world, and I just didn't know what it was because I'd been in a hospital room for 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get out and quote the real world, and things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking has changed. My
Mm-hmm.
processing has changed. Everything has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me. So yeah, I think you're on something. It's a big spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And
so
and look,
it's a wave. If people are feeling it, it's a wave, and we can all ride it.
yeah, and while this is happening, all of a sudden UFOs are in the news. More than, hey, they saw a crop circle over in England, and then for a year or two you hear nothing, or whatever. But now it's almost like the prodding of the universe, the global.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the only ones out here alive or in the universe. We're not the only ones, and I think some people hopefully are starting to come to grips with that. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
really, we're never alone. We are always one with spirit. Always. It just seems like we're alone at times. So on that note, let's get to Sonia. Has some shifts in her life.
Since March 17th. And Mary Ellen, what is March 17th?
Your birthday.
My birthday, which happens to be St. Patrick's Day. Everything has shifted in my life. Not sure what is happening with energy. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting is just what we talked about, Sonia. Is by the way, when I look down, it's so I'm not focusing on. I'm looking down at my rug. That's what I'm looking down at. So that's just kind of what I'm focused on. It helps me focus if I have a focus point. And I think this awakening within you, Sonia, is about your gifts. I think your dreams are telling you things, that's a remarkable gift. I don't have that gift. A lot of people don't, but I think you do. And shifting with the energy, you're becoming more aware. It's like, Sonia, I compare it to having sunglasses on, and then all of a sudden you put glasses like I've got on, and you can see clear. And spirit wants you to see clear. The universe wants you to see clear. God wants you to see clear. It's okay to say God. God doesn't care if you call God God. He just, not he. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But the energy around you, all of a sudden the space around you, Sonia, has become sacred. It's almost like it happened overnight. In that sacred space, you've been exploring, you've been noticing people. It's almost like you're walking. It's almost like you're invisible at times, and you're walking amongst people, just observing them. And that's a great place to be. It really is. That's an amazing thing to undergo. So I think you're undergoing some amazing, and the word here is transformation. The energy is transforming around you because you have realized something about yourself and your life and your purpose and your meaning and where you want to go. And I think part of this is to use your mediumship gifts. And I also think you're an energy healer. I mean, for you to notice what is happening with energy and there's a shift in your life. And also there's a shift in spirit guides, and that happens. And that could be an uncomfortableness. I'm feeling, I'm feeling on edge. I don't know why. Everything seems to be going fine, but for whatever reason, I'm on edge. That's a shift in spirit guides. And you now have a spirit guide. This almost looks like a Lewis and Clark spirit guide. Or if you ever watch the movies Jumanji, the guy that's in the hat and is always walking them to Jumanji, navigating. And spirit is really talking. It's time to navigate through the dense forest of the drama around you. Before you couldn't navigate, but now you're going to be able to navigate. And it's when you walk in the rooms, your energy is going to be really bright. And so a lot of things happening, an awakening of more of your metaphysical gifts, a shift in spirit guides, and recognizing the space around you, transforming that space into positive energy. And I think as you grow more metaphysical gifts, the drama and negativity is not going to affect you. It's going to roll off your back because you know you're better than that. Okay? Thank you, Sonia. And I hope that is helpful. But it was really good stuff coming through from Spirit.
All right. Yeah. And thank you for hanging out here with us.
Yes, thank you.
Next one is Stacy.
Okay, let's look at the low, Stacy. And I'm not saying this is the reason you have low. You've had low times, and these low times to me almost seem like depression. I'm not saying you have a mental illness, just depression. We all get depressed every now and then. Nobody's immune to that. But there's those low times. I'm going to repeat a line I've used so much from the Franciscan mystic Richard Rohr when he says, I like to ask pain, what is it you're trying to teach me? And I'm not saying we go through those times for teachable moments. We can turn them into teachable moments and learnable moments. And what I'm getting from Spirit is this: you are stronger than you think. Don't doubt yourself as a person. It's almost like, and some of these low points, Stacy, I feel are really low. Like, oh gosh, I got a headache. I just don't want to get up today. I'm thinking this would be almost comparable to the windows are drawn. I've got a migraine. I've got an ice pack on my head and an ice pack on my neck. And I just can't get through the day. And that's a low point. I don't have migraines, but I know my wife does. I know people who do, and it just says it's unbelievable. And so Spirit is saying, it's okay to fall down 7 times as long as you get up 8. And you're the person that can get up 8. And the message is there's more for you. The first of this year, for whatever reason, wasn't the best start for you to this year. And but the back half is going to be better. It may not be substantially better, just shooting you straight, but it's going to be better. And I'm seeing some good travel during the holidays for you. And the conversations you're having with people, the conversations they're having with you. And I say this a lot: you don't own other people's issues, Stacy. Those are their issues. I'm sorry you got hit with something pretty extreme today. I'm glad you're here. Know that, first of all, I said prayer before for everybody I was doing, everybody who was online and everybody who I was going to do a message for, or messages for. And I'll say a prayer for you tonight and ask for Archangel Raphael. And I also ask for the one everybody knows, Archangel Michael, to fight some battles for you. You have people on your side, Stacy, in the metaphysical world or in the spirit realm. And the energy is good. It's really good. And it's going to help you get through something. It's going to help you get, and I have a feeling that you may get hit with something in a few days that may be pretty extreme. I don't know what it is. This is what I'm getting. But as long as you're prepared for it and you weather the storm, and I know it's easy to say, but weathering the storm is, and you're a weather the storm person. You've weathered many a storm. You didn't have you haven't had the easiest of lives. There's been, when I'm looking at, more valleys than peaks of the mountaintop, and there's been more valleys. But I do think what you were hit with today, I don't know that it'll get better, but I think you'll understand it a little bit more That's what I'm getting. And so I don't know what it is. And I don't want to know what it is. It's your business. Next 2 or 3 days, you'll understand it more. And last thing I say, don't worry about finances. Don't worry about finances. Send it out to the universe. Get that law of attraction. I need some finances to see me through the day and to make and your kids are strong. Your kids are a mirror image of you. And anyway, I certainly hope that helps. And I'm sorry you got hit with something today, Stacy, but thank you for logging on. Seriously.
Yeah, thanks for being with us, Stacy. And you can, if you see us in 2 weeks, or maybe you'd even be in Melbourne this weekend. I'm not sure. Do let us know how you're doing, because we'll be sending you.
Please.
Okay, let's go to Jennifer.
Jennifer, you've been drawn. Okay, there is, I feel a sense of worry about someone's health. I don't think it's yours, Jennifer. If it is, I apologize. I'm missing that, but and that's okay. It's okay to miss. But I feel this is someone close to you, that there's a health concern, and that person needs to go to the doctor just for a checkup. It doesn't mean anything. And the reason I'm saying just a checkup, I sense that person is, might be a male, there's some tightness in the chest and something with the knee or lower leg. I'm not as concerned about, well, I'm not a doctor. I can only give you what I'm getting. I can't diagnose anything, and nor would I begin to. I'm forced to watch Grey's Anatomy, Jennifer, and I don't think that makes me a doctor. Still can't believe that show's on. Oh my gosh. As far as yourself, excuse me. And also back to the health, I do feel that someone in the household close to you is either pre-diabetic or diabetic. I just need to watch their sugar count. Oh, your mom's been, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I still feel there's a male near you. I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to adjust to fit, because I don't do that. Psychic mediums don't do that. They shouldn't do it. And we miss, right? But I still feel this is a male. So I'm feeling up here. I'm hoping your mom hasn't got COVID-19. If she does, we need to pray, but 2 months is a long time. There are angels around her. And don't know how old she is, Jennifer, but she's been talking to somebody on the other side. And that person on the other side who's close to her, don't know if it's a spouse, don't know if your father, don't know if it's her aunt or her sister or grandparent or whatever, but they're telling her it's not her time just yet. And
time to take your pill.
What's that? I know. Oh, my medic. I'm sorry, Jennifer. Had a couple of transplants a little over a year ago, and I have to take about 15 pills a day.
Jennifer had a question.
She did?
Her son. Yeah.
I think it's her son. There's some stress that I feel, and there's a knee issue, because this is male, a strong male essence. Her daughter, I feel, is on a different path than maybe the one she started out on a year or two ago. She's on a different path. People may question the path, but she's very smart. She'll find her way back on the path she needs to get on. Jennifer, your son, I just feel under a lot of stress and tension. And for men, that manifests itself in the chest normally. And even at a young age, it doesn't hurt to go to the doctor. So it just maybe have him get it checked out. And he's got something big coming up that seems to worry him or concern him. I don't know what big is coming up. I don't know, something big. I can't diagnose Jennifer. I can't say he'll be okay. I'm just saying, just get him to the doctor and let him check him out. So go say a prayer for your mom tonight. I'm so sorry for your mom, but whoever she's reached out to has told her it's not her time yet. And we'll leave it at that. But Jennifer, you're in our prayers, and your family's in our prayers.
Jennifer, my mother had C. diff, and she got over it too. It's a nasty bug, but she was able to get over it. So hopefully your mom is going to be able to beat that and be just fine. Yeah. So same with you. We're definitely sending you our best thoughts. So we are out of time, unfortunately. So there's a couple people that we did not get to, and I hope that they will tune in next 2 weeks from today is when Jerry will be back with us. We post that on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel when our upcoming shows are. So hopefully you'll join us. Also, our website for the sanctuary is sanctuaryfl.com. That's FL like Florida. And if you'd like to get a reading with Jerry, his prices are extremely reasonable. He is in high demand, so check and see when his availability is. But his website is jmacmedium.com. Again, a reminder that you can see Jerry in person this weekend at Spirit Fest in Melbourne, Florida, May 22nd, 23rd at the Azan Shriner Center, and all the information is on our website. So there are still seats left for his mediumship gallery Sunday morning, which includes admission. So it's another great deal. So hopefully everybody can join us. So thank you, everyone, for being with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks. God bless everybody. Peace.